Onion Trade is an episode that I honestly don't really remember that well, except for the Garnet fight scene, because Onion low-key wins. But I really do love this whole vegetable-themed family. Each of them are very intertwined in Steven's life in some way or another. Whenever Gem stuff gets involved with any of their family, it's really interesting. So let's see if this first episode can highlight that. Whee! So we open on the temple as Steven asks Amethyst if she's seen his ranger guy.
One of my guys! You know, guys? Guys under your supervision.
And before we talk about the guys, I want to talk about this little umbrella on the porch real quick. It's white here, but it seems like they've cycled through a few throughout the show. Like there's this green one, but I think it's mainly yellow. We've also only ever really seen the guys whenever Onion's around. We do see Steven pack up Ranger Guy at the end of Future, and based off the end of this episode, I think it means there was a cute little interaction that happened off screen between Onion and Steven, but we'll talk about that later.
You can't find your little men?
We also get a bit more of this Amethyst and Pearl bickering that's played as comedy, but it will later be played pretty seriously. But yeah, Steven's like actually noticeably upset that he can't find his ranger guy. Like notice this purposeful close-up on the guys and Steven. I feel it's significant as it shows the importance these toys have on Steven, or rather the memories he has associated with them. And the gems don't really notice until he's walking off.
Pearl, all your nagging has made Steven depressed.
Is everything okay, Steven?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just have to break the bad news to my dad. I lost something precious.
Your innocence?
And in this exchange, we learn that Greg bought Steven this little guy.
I lost Ranger Guy. One of my guys from our special day at the beach last summer? You bought him for me at the end of the day. He was one of a kind. He had a miscolored hat. How could you not remember?
I feel like this could have also been the day they were in that parade. Steven was very sentimental about that day.
Was this the same day we ate that awesome funnel cake?
Huh?
Yeah, man, that funnel cake. Ha, I even kept the plate. Come on!
And I really like this detail. I don't think it's translated a lot in media. Rather than remembering this special day with Steven, Greg remembers the funnel cake, and he even keeps the plate, apparently. It shows that even though Greg may not remember this special moment, Steven did, and that memory is still valuable to him, right? He can still care about these toys even if the gems don't care, even if his dad doesn't remember it. Also, that's totally For Freedom's vodka. Right? It's honestly a cool detail how the gems and Greg kind of undermine Steven here. I think it's really realistic. People undermine and dismiss those who they love unknowingly all the time, especially as a child when their problems don't seem as important, maybe. Like, oh, you lost your special toy from our great memory? Here's a bag of quarters. Go buy more.
What'd you say?
Thank you!
Holy shit, Pink Steven foreshadowing the show is amazing. So Steven finds himself back at the Funland arcade at the Guys machine. Turns out this machine, like, specifically only has Dave Guys in it.
Maybe he comes with something cool. Taxes?
And you know, he's like the worst one. But then enters Onion stealing a bag of chips. Okay, so maybe chaps are a certain brand of chips because we've seen both coexist now.
He's got a Ranger Guy?
But look closely, viewers. Ranger Guy has a black hat on the machine, yet this Ranger Guy has a white hat.
Previously.
And Steven! He was one of a kind. He had a miscolored hat.
This is Steven's Ranger Guy, and it was shown to us way before the actual reveal. Also, we meet Suitcase Sam, a very obscure townie, but you know, he's still there. Imagine if Topaz kidnapped this guy and Steven was like, Suitcase Sam, no. And here we meet Onion's father, Yellowtail. We see how he and Onion are close, but Yellowtail is off at sea most of the time. I'm sure that won't come up later though. Anyway, Steven tries to trade all of his Dave Guys for Onion's Ranger Guy, but Onion just won't accept the bargain. So Steven, defeated, walks back to Amethyst, who's sitting in the same position as she was earlier.
Have you been sitting here all day with this in your hair?
Pearl's dumb axe.
Also, as a senior in college, I feel like this is how people talk about me all the time.
Does it look like his life is going anywhere?
Cut him a break. Maybe this is the year he gets his life together. Maybe he'll get a cool internship.
I doubt it.
Okay, so the duplicator one. What could it have been used for in gem history? Well, probably duplicating soldiers to kill things, maybe.
Pearl's dumb axe.
It's such a powerful weapon. I'm sure like Pearl or Pink Diamond like snagged this shit before they left to Earth. Bro, you just got that moped like a few episodes ago. Come on. And we get this sudden, like, tone shift where Onion just starts becoming evil, which is just so fucking funny. Steven starts to spawn more and more Dave Guys, but Onion is not too impressed.
Enough!
And then we hear something pretty rare for this show, the sound of sirens. They're probably like fire trucks, but it's rare we see any government or police interference. But yeah, Onion points at the replicator wand. And Steven, yeah, he does it. And then he immediately realizes that Ranger Guy isn't as fun as he remembers. Perhaps like we've said, it was just a memory that he had with his dad that made him love this toy.
Pearl's dumbass.
Yay, conflict solved. Wait, is it raining Dave, guys?
Steven, why didn't you just replicate Ranger Guy?
Dang it!
And then we get the greatest fight in the show. Onion versus the crystal gems.
How do you move in this stuff?
Try and act like a rich duck.
What does that mean?
Also, Greg pops in for a second so he can come back in the finale. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
We get this really cool sequence of Garnet and Onion fighting, and this being a human child, right? You know, allegedly. Garnet is trying to approach this situation pretty calmly, while Onion duplicates a fucking car. Okay, looks like Steven's wrestling experience is paying off.
Let's trade back. Take Ranger Guy. He's the best. He even has a miscolored hat. This is my Ranger Guy. You traded me my own guy.
And as it turns out, our theory earlier was correct. Onion, you sly motherfucker. Garnet destroys the wand, which makes all the duplicated objects disappear, and Steven lays out the themes for this episode.
I think I understand why you took my Ranger Guy, Onion. I bet you get pretty lonely waiting for your dad all day. You were probably really bored, too.
And in the end, Steven gives Ranger Guy back to Onion. Aww.
Because you missed your dad, you took my Ranger Guy, which is a symbol of the relationship I have with my dad. No?
Oh shit, never mind. Okay, fuck my overanalyzing then. But yeah, in the last episode of Future, we see Steven eventually has Ranger Guy and Onion has Cheeseburger Backpack. Steven spends this entire episode trying to recover a piece of his past, only to realize that what made it special was never the toy. It was the memory he had with it. And once he gives Ranger Guy to Onion, that object gets to become part of a new memory. I think at first, at least, this episode was pretty hard to resonate with due to Onion's lack of expression. But after thinking about it, I think that's actually the point. Just like how the Gems and Greg don't really get how attached Steven was to this toy, Steven doesn't really understand how attached Onion is to this toy. A little echo chamber thing. I think it's neat. It doesn't matter that you don't understand. It's special to them for a reason. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm doing a bit more varied content within, so I thank you for the wait and your guys' patience and the support on those other videos. I know this is like my most popular series, so thank you for the support on these too. I really appreciate it. Also, I'm wearing a hat this episode. Have you guys ever even seen that? No, I've never worn a hat in a video. All right, that's it, y'all. Next episode, Pearl dies. Bye-bye.